What's going on? I'm Tony Bursick, and if you don't know me, I'm an online fitness coach who helps men who are struggling to get in shape, lose a fat, balance their busy schedules, and struggling with their insecurities and lack of confidence. I help those men get into the best shape of their lives, lose the fat, become confident, all while balancing their busy ass schedules. Right? So today we're going to be talking about the first steps that you need to be taking in order to transform your body and mind. And when I say mind, I'm talking about confidence a lot. And this is while working 50 hours a week. Okay, because these are the 5 things that I did myself whenever I first started cutting fat and I first got in shape, which you're going to see the before and after photo. So you see that I actually was able to do this myself. But you know what, enough of me yapping. Let's just get straight into this. All right, so this is exactly how I was able to transform my body and mind while working 50 hours a week, okay? And as you can see right here, this was a little chunky Tony, okay? And this is me now. I'm looking pretty fire. Can't lie, the cut's been cutting, but there's a big time frame between the two. Obviously, I'm showing the current now, but back then I was 220 pounds. Look at that, embarrassing. I am 195 on the other side, okay? When I started these first 5 steps, I ended up dropping, I believe it was 60 pounds. It was between the 50 and 60 mark in 6 months. I transformed myself. And these were the first things that I did in order to do that. And I was working 50 hours a week as well. So with that being said, there's no reason why you can't do the same thing. You just have to start with these first steps. You start with these steps, and then it's more and more and more and more steps, okay? But, odds are, if you haven't done these steps yet, you're in a little bit of this kind of stage, right? And we're trying to obviously get to this, at least somewhere in this direction. So instead of me yapping, let's just get straight into this, because you know what? Each step is just super important. So let's get over here. The 5 things that you need to start doing if you actually want to see results. Okay, if you want to transform your mind and body, you want to become confident, you need to be doing these 5 things, because if you aren't, you're never going to build momentum. But anyways, let's just let me just get into the points, because then I will start yapping more. So first thing is, you need to build one win every morning, okay? Whether it's go to the gym when you first wake up, start your day off with a high protein, low calorie breakfast, journal, read. You need to do something that is going to set you up for success for the rest of the day, okay? Because if you wake up, you hit snooze 8 times, you wake up at, odds are you can't wake up at 10 o'clock. But if you just sleep in right before work, then you're not going to eat properly. You're going to end up grabbing something quick and convenient. You're not going to read. You're not going to work out. You need to start the day off by doing something that's going to set you up for the rest of the day. That is the most important thing. Because confidence comes from evidence, okay? Every single win that you get, that's evidence right there. Every single day that you wake up and you go work out or you go do cardio, whatever it is, that is evidence that you are working towards improving yourself, that you are who you want to be, that you are who you say you are. So you need to start your day off in the right direction, okay? Because the more wins that you stack, the more belief you're going to stack that you are becoming who you want to be, that you are improving. And that is going to create more confidence. And obviously, it's going to help you stay more on track. You start the day off doing the right things, doing something that you should be doing with a win, then you're going to stay on track, because you're going to want to keep on winning. Who wants to win and then fucking lose? Okay? Most of you, which was the same problem I had, was I would start the day off with a loss, and then you don't have that same to get the next win. But when you start the day off with a win, you don't want to stop. You really don't. So you need to make sure that you are actually starting the day off by building at least one win every single morning, okay? Now, the second thing, you need to create a routine that removes stress. Now, everyone is different, okay? So I'm going to break it down for what it was for me. For me, it was food and workouts, okay? Once I got my schedule for the week, I would plan my workouts, okay? If I knew that, okay, this morning I'm going to have, or the morning will be the best time for me to go work out, I'm going to go hit my lift then. I'm going to go make sure I get a quick 40-minute, hour-long workout, depending on how much time I had. And when it came to my meals, well, don't get me wrong, I'd still eat out every now and then, but that's because I already was starting to understand, macro manipulation and how to track your calories very well, which is something that you will learn over time. But that doesn't mean I didn't meal prep. I still made chicken and rice and broccoli. I still made ground beef and rice. I was still being strategic for when it was needed. I would plan everything out in advance. And I still plan everything out in advance to this day. And because of that, it makes my life so much easier. Everything is stress-free because I know what I'm doing and when I need to do it. Okay? You need to remove stress. Whether that's you're scheduling for your workouts, you're scheduling for your nutrition, time consuming, you meal prep. You don't got time? Meal prep. I know you don't got time. Okay, shit, if I was working 50 hours a week, when I was working 50 hours a week, let me rephrase that. When I was working 50 hours a week, I had to meal prep all the time. I still meal prep to this day because it's convenient. Why would you spend an hour every single day cooking when you could spend an hour every 3 to 4 days? And then you don't have to spend an hour every single day. 4 hours or 1 hour? You don't got time. Which one are you going to choose? It's a pretty fucking obvious answer. And, it's going to be less thought. You're going to have to think less about this. And obviously, that's going to stress you out less fatigue. And you're just going to perform better in every aspect. Because when you stress, you waste time too. So don't be stressing out. Create a routine. If you have to adjust it, start the week every time you get your schedule, or if you have a set schedule, then you don't have to do this. But if you have a different schedule every week, plan that shit out in advance. I'm telling you, life will get so much easier, and you will find it so much easier to stay on track of doing the things that you need to do in order to transform your body and mind. Excuse me. All right. Third thing. You need to train to become someone you respect. Okay, now what do you think I mean by that? Going to the gym every day, it's not just about building muscle, right? It's about doing something that is delayed gratification, delayed results, which is also going to teach you patience and discipline, obviously, because you go to the gym you get jacked. You didn't do that by accident. It doesn't just happen. It took you a long ass time to do it. You had to go every single day. You had to stick to your meals, right? Well, you don't have to go every single day, but you get what I'm trying to say. You had to stay disciplined with this. So whenever you're in there, you need to train for consistency. You don't need perfection. Never chase perfection. You chase perfection, you will start spiraling out of fucking control. Very few people can chase perfection. And people who chase perfection already have the consistency part down. You need the consistency before the perfection, okay? Make sure that when you're in there, you're training not because you just, trying to build muscle. You're training because you want to become someone that you respect, that others respect, right? And that was a big thing for me. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little crazy at one point, because right before that photo, it was about a month or two beforehand, I was working only about, I want to say, like 20, 30 hours a week. I wasn't on the full-time schedule yet. So because of that, I was a fucking madman. I was already starting this. I was working out like 3 times a day sometimes, 2 times a day at least. And it's not because it was like beneficial. Honestly, it was stupid. I shouldn't be working out that much. I was doing it because I wasn't training to build the muscle. I was training to respect myself. I was training to build a sense of identity and respect that could not be broken. And I did build that shit by doing that. I'm not saying go ahead and train 2-3 times a day, but what I am saying is go in there and fucking train like you mean it. Train like you are working towards becoming someone better. If you do that, I'm telling you, your workouts will be better. That's for damn sure. Your workouts will be 1,000,000 times better. And you're also going to slowly tell yourself that I'm not the same person anymore. Because you know what? The old you right now, he'd rather stay at home and eat a bag of chips. Probably does. He'd rather go pick up some fucking pizza or McDonald's or some shit. But then you who's going to the gym with the intent of building respect for yourself and building just building self-improvement, becoming a new person, shit, that's two different people. That's two different people. So whenever you go, train with the intent that you are becoming someone new, that's someone that you respect. Okay? I'm a little congested if you can't hear. All right. Now the fourth thing, and this one I cannot stress how important it is. You need to protect your peace. Okay? I might be asking, what the fuck you mean by that? You need to focus on yourself. Honestly, I was isolated a lot during this time. I found it very important to be isolated because I needed to focus on my sleep, my nutrition, my hydration. I was already working 50 hours. I don't have time to go smoke weed with my friends or go out drinking with my friends once I get off work. I had to focus on myself. Protect your peace because you are building a foundation right now. You are building something new. You are becoming someone new. So by you going back to your old ways, the version of you right now that would go out with your friends after you got off work and go have a beer, or go over to your buddy's house and smoke some weed, guess what? If you go do that, you're going to slowly fall back into old habits. Not going to the gym, not starting your day off with a win, not meal prepping. You're going to end up eating fast food all the time, just like you do now. You need to protect your peace. It is so important. You need to cut out the noise, cut out the distractions, and focus on yourself. And you know what? You know you're doing it right whenever you hear people start saying to you, dude, you're changing, you're not the same anymore. Say something like that. Or, oh, bro, like, you never hang out with us, bro. Just come hang out. One night's not going to be a big deal. We never see you anymore. You ever hear anything like that? Know you're on the right path. Know you're on the path to self-improvement. Okay? You're on the path to transforming your body and mind. You need to protect your peace. I cannot stress it enough. You need to protect your peace. Because the only people who are going to understand it and actually support you whenever you do this are the ones who, A, want to see you win, or who are those kinds of people and they see that you are doing what they had to go through and they respect it because they know it's not easy. It's not easy, but I'll fucking tell you one thing, it's so fucking worth it. So fucking worth it. All right, let's go to the fifth and final one. Okay, we just talked about this a little bit. Stop using. Let's fix that. Weekends to ruin your life, or to escape. Stop using weekends to escape your life. Sorry, my bad. Because they are ruining your life, though. That's why I said ruin. Because they are ruining your life. Because you know what? I used to do the same thing too. I busted my ass Monday through Friday. Friday night comes, eat as many calories, eat whatever the fuck I wanted, go out drinking, or I'd get high, and then I end up eating. Like all the progress was destroyed. Because I just went back to my old ways, but way fucking worse. Because you only do that shit on the weekends, and that shit's way more destructive to your body and to your mind than you falling off a little bit. Sorry about that. Spencer needed something quickly. But yeah, what I was saying was that the weekends is where the most damage is done. So every time that you go out and use the weekends to escape your life, you're just going back down the rabbit hole to where you are right now. And before you know it, you're going to lose all the progress that you've made. So stop using the weekends to escape the life that you hate right now, and use the weekends to push harder towards the life that you want, to becoming the person that you want, to have the physique that you want, the confidence that you want, and the mindset that you want. Okay? So at the end of the day, if you start with these 5 things, 5 simple things, before you know it, if I can like exit a little bit here, there we go. Before you know it, you will be able to make a similar transformation, just like I was able to. It's easier than you realize. So I promise you, if you focus on these 5 things to start off with, you will start to see results. You will start to see progress in your life. I know there's a lot more and that there is to it, Obviously, you may not know what you're doing when it comes to dieting, when it comes to your workouts. You may even need someone in your corner, because I needed that when I very first started working out. I needed someone in my corner to kind of guide me. So if that's the case, hey, I could be that person for you. I'd be more than happy to be that person for you. Maybe I'm not the right fit for you. Honestly, the only way we could ever find out is if we started talking, hopped on a call together. So if you made it this far, why don't we hop on a call and figure out if we'd be a good fit together? If I could help you transform your body and your mindset and help you become who you really want to be, help you break these bad habits, break the loop, and fucking level up. That's all I gotta say.